Hi and welcome back to Frantonio, full website project tutorial. Today we're going to do part 3 of John Doe photography, and we are going to setting up the home page or the index page. If you remember the previous video of John Doe photography part 2, we did set up all the pages, but just with the header and the footer, or navigation bar and the footer. So today we're going to finish up the home page, and yeah, after that we're going to make the other pages for the main website. Okay, let me show you where we left yesterday. Yesterday, I mean, in the previous, we were left here, John Doe. We did the navigation bar, and we did the footer, yeah, and we set it up on all the different pages there, yeah. Okay, so that's where we left off in the previous video. And today, in today's video, we're going to set up the body part of the index file, index.html, or the home page or landing page. So we're going to do these sections here, the about me section, yeah. Then we're going to do another section here with my services, and the section here with some of my work. So anyway, let me go back to here, and let me open my Visual Studio Code, and that is where we left off in the last tutorial. So anyway, so after we had the navigation bar set up, yeah, we have here the start, end of navigation bar, and start of footer. So in between the end of navigation bar and start of the footer, we start building our website. So let me put down this one here. And the first thing is we're going to put in a div with a class of container fluid. We're going to make it, we're going to give him a remark, you know, that is the start of the container fluid. And under there, we're going to start the about me. So let me paste this one in here. I pasted it because, you know, like I told you, I'm a very slow. Oops, there's something missing. Oops. So, and we got this, like I said, you know, end of we got end of navigation bar. We start off with a div class named container fluid, and that's the start of the container fluid. After that, we are going to put in an h1, oops, h1, and in the h1 we're going to put an about me. We're going to write in about me. So after the h1, we are inserting also an hr, which is a line break, which is a break or a line. So let's do it like this: hr, and we close it. And that would be actually, that is the start about me. So I put this one on top here and put this one on the bottom. So start off start of container fluid. Oops, and I put this one away again. Start of, okay, here. So start of about me and an HR. Yeah. After that, we are going to start a. We are going to put in a row. The reason we put in a row because it's like in a spreadsheet. You know, you have rows and columns. So to put in columns, we need to have a row. So let's make a class, a div with a class of row. Let's put a div with a class of div, and we're going to close this div, and inside here we're going to put in, in the div here we still have to give it a class, and we put in a class, and we name the class row. After we add the class row, let's put a reminder in here that here we're going to start the actually about. We're going to start the row about. So, like this. And that is start of row about, which would be our first section. After that, we are going to set up the columns. We are using 2 columns in here, yeah, and one is a column set on the left. So that's going to be a div class with column left. And inside this div, we are going to put in a h5, with a title. Let me copy this one too, Ctrl C, and paste this in. So, because like I said, I'm a slow typer, so make it easier. So anyway, so that we defined an H class with a title, and then strong, which means that the title here is going to be bold. Yeah, we put in my name is John Doe, and I'm a freelance professional photographer and graphic designer. Close the strong, and we close also the H5. So that would be our heading, which is practically this one here. That is what we just made. Let me save this one and see. I think we are going to get problems because there's a div missing. Control save, and here we go. And as you can see, we got this one, but we cannot see the about here up there, and that's the HR line. That one we're going to adjust later on in with the CSS. Anyway, so after we put in we did put in this the H5 class. We start setting up all these paragraphs which we have. So let's start with the first paragraph. We're given things of about text, a class of about text. Let me copy it in all together. Go back in here and let me paste this one in. So, so and this is the first paragraph. I use Lorem Ipsum here. Yeah, there is a way you can do Lorem Ipsum in here by let's see. Let me take this off here, and I don't remember. Let's see if it works. If I put in Lorem times, I believe this was a time 1 or time 1, and I press the tab. You see, okay, so here you got the first Lorem Ipsum. Now you can do 1 or you can do 2. I believe I put in 1 in here. Yeah. It looks a little bit smaller, but anyway, let me try maybe with Lorem 2. It always gives you a random text. Lorem times multiply 2, and then pressing the tab. Now you get the text in there. Yeah. And that's more or less right. So, and then we have actually how many paragraphs we have in here. So that would be the first paragraph. Let me save this one, and that would be the first paragraph. And we got in here 1, 2, we got 3 paragraphs in here. So let's go back here, let's go back to our coda. After this P, after this end of the paragraph, yeah, what we can do is we put in another paragraph. We go back one, stop another paragraph, and we just repeat this one again, only this time with a different text. Oops, where am I? Let's do it like this. Let me paste it back in here. So now we got the next text. Save, because the second one, and then we need one more, which we're going to put up here. And there we go. Let me save this one again, and now we got all three of the of the paragraphs, like in here. Well, we're going to adjust it later on in a CSS. Okay, so then we got one div closed. Then now we go, after that, after the second div here, we are going to make the second column. We go down here, second column, and no, after this div here, because this one is for the row. If I, yeah, this is end of row. I do like this, so we know where we are, just in case. And that would be end of row, end of the row. So after this div here, which is the div here for the column 6, as the first column, let's put in the second column. The second column, we are going to put in an image, which is this image here. And that would be this paste it in here and I explain you what it is. Okay, so practical is the first the first column was 6, the second column is 5. We got 12 columns in a row. So 6 I used up the half. With the M5 I use up a little less than a half because we need to do some padding and some margins in between. Then I made here a div with a class of box and the effect which we are going to put in there. That would be this effect down here, which is going to be afterwards in JavaScript. And then we're going to put in a title also, yeah, with a H3 tag. So let me save this. At the moment it will not look properly because see it's just the image. It's not been it's full-size image. The name is not in the center. We have no box around there, and which we are going to do later on into the in the CSS styling. So, and that was the end of the row. And after that we put in a HR, a horizontal ruler, and that would be the end of the section about. End of row, yeah, end of row about. This is end of row about. So why I do this is so that in case if there's any errors, sometimes I can't define them. I can't find them much more easier. What is the diff? What diff was it? And so on and so on. Anyway, so let me do an S here and close. And okay, now the next section we are going to start. The next section we are going to start is the services. So the services are going to be this part here. My services, photography, fashion, and graphic. Yeah. So let me go in here. Let's go back here. So we have a div class of info. We start with a div class of info. Yeah. Let me start a div with a class of info. Div. Let's close. And that's going to be has a class of info. Class of info, which we're going to style then afterwards in the in the CSS. Then inside this div, let me put here start oops, start of services, start of services. Then in this div here we are going to have that one here is going to be end of services, end of services. End of services. And between here we're going to put an H1, with a class of we give it a class of services. Yeah, class. Let's give it a class of services. So I can style this one, and then inside inside this we're going to put in my services. services, and then end of the, that would be then closing of the H1 after after we set, which would be this part here, because that's going to be only in one part. Now here we're going to have 3 columns, yeah, 1 row and 3 columns again. Yeah, so first of all, we're going to put this one in a in a container. We're going to make a class with a container fluid with paddings. So let's start a div. Let me close this one, close the div here, and that is going to have a class of container fluid, class of container fluid, container dash fluid, and the padding. And inside that one we are going to put in a an HR, but this HR we're going to give it a class because I wanted to have it differently done as the others. We're going to give it a class of light. It's going to be a little bit lighter than the other ones. So, and after that we're going to start with our row. So there is going to be a div. Let me close this one, div, and inside this div here we have a class of row, a class of row, then another class with text center, because we want the text to be centered, and also we're going to give him some padding. Inside this div, in the row, now that we have set up the row, we need to set up the columns. Now here we're going to put up several columns for smaller bits to larger screens. Yeah. So let's put in there again a div. Let me close this one. Inside this div. Inside this div we're going to have a class of call xs12 extra small. Yeah, it's the column extra small 12. Then we're going to have another column for small devices with 6 columns, and for the larger ones screens we're going to have a call MD4, which would be the call MD4 is what you see here now. You see my website is on desktop. So you got 1, 2, 3 columns, but it's called MD4. Means 12 divided 4 equals 3. That's the reason why we have this, why we getting these 3 columns in here. Okay, so now then inside this div here again, inside this div of the column MD64, we are going to put a we're going to put this icon here. Yeah. So, and that would be, there is an ID of an I, and the I is going to have a class of FAS space FA camera, and then we close the class. Oops, we close this one, and we close the I. If I Control S, let me see what happened. And here we got the camera. You see? Don't worry about it. We're going to style it later. So next one, we need a. We're going to put in also an H3, an heading, where it's going to say photography. So let's do an H3, and oh, not an HR, an H3, and H3. Inside the H3, we're going to put a photography, and after the H3, we're going to put in a paragraph. So a P. Let me close this paragraph, and inside the paragraph we're going to use another lorem times one, and that's it. And that is the first column. Let me save it. So you see, that's the first paragraph. Yeah. So, and that was this one here. That was the first paragraph. Yeah. Then after that, what we're going to do the second part, no? And that would be here. That's the first row. Then the second row is going to be more. It's going to be the same like this one here. Or the only thing is we are going to change the icon. So let me copy this one, paste it, and we change the FA camera to FR female. That would be for our fashion. Yeah, fashion. And then also we have to change the title here to fashion. Yep. Oops. Fashion, if I can spell. So fashion. Let me save this one now, and we should have here now the second one. You see? Okay, keep going on. Now there's still one more to do. So let's copy this one again, this part here, the div class, and to this div here. Control copy, insert it down here, and now we're going to change from FA female to FA portrait. FA, that is the icon. Portrait, and that would be posters, graphic design, no, graphic design, graphic design, design, and the rest is okay. Yeah, it's the same. Let me make a save, and we should have all three now. Perfect. Look at that. Wonderful. Okay. Let's keep on going. So that was the services. Then after here, after the second div here, we are going to put in an HR horizontal ruler, HR, and here I think I need another div, if I'm correct, because we got the info, but I start of services, div and row, end of row about, start of services, and let me check if there's anything missing here. This div here is the class info. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, got it right. Yeah, the class info, start of services, and that's the end of services. So now we start the next section under here. And this section here would be, let me make a save here. And the next section here is going to be our start of some of my work, the last part here, some of my work, the last section. Okay. Okay. Anyway, just give me a second, I'll be right back. Thank you. So now that we did we are on the end of the services, we're going to start the last section of the home page, which is going to be some of my work. So let me put in a reminder here, or a remark, and that would be start of some work, some of my work, and we're going to copy this one, paste it underneath. Oops, what I did wrong. He pasted the wrong stuff. This one here I don't actually need. Start of my work, this one goes away. Let me see what I did. If it's okay, still, yeah, still okay. Okay, I made a mistake here. I still had something else in my in my clipboard. Let's make a Control C of this one. Let's paste it down here and make this end of some of my work. And here in between, we're going to start styling. We're going to start putting in the heading, the description, and then the rows with all the images. So let's start with an H1. Oops, H1. Inside the H1, we're going to put some of my work. Some of my work. And after the H1, we're going to put another H5 in there with a description. So it's going to be an H5. Inside the H5, we're going to have a class of of description, class of description, abbreviated, and in here we are going to put the following text. I paste it in, so it's much faster as if I start typing it in. Let me go back in here. Okay, and let me do a save so we can see some of my work. Here some of my image artwork to be right. Okay, now then after that we're going to put in another HR in there. HR, close it, and below that one we're going to start the row. So there is going to be a div. Let's close this div here, and that will be the class of row. And here we're going to give it a, a remark again, so we know that where our row starts. Start of row, and on the end I'm copy this one, and on the end of this div I'm going to put the end of the row, and it's going to be end of row. So we always know, it's always good to know where you're standing, just in case something goes wrong. Like I said, you know, you always know where to start, where to look at. So in this one here, there's going to be we're going to put in 3 images, like you see here, 3 images per row. Yeah. Okay. So that's going to be all in MD4. So let me start here. A div class, a div with a class of MD4, call MD4, like I explained to you before. That is, 12 columns per row divided by 4. That gives me 3 columns. And here again, let me enter a remark, and we put in here start of call MD4. Start of call MD4. And then I copy this one down, put it on here, and we put it at the end of the column row. End. So I know where this starts and where this ends, since we got some other classes in there and diffs in there. Okay, let's start first. We're going to give it we're going to start with the box, and then we're going to insert the image, and then we're going to give a title to the image. So let's start with a like I said, with a div. Let me close this div. Inside this div you're going to have a class of box, and a class of, and the effect which we're going to use, effect, and it's going to be the effect number 5. I have different effects, so I number them between 1 and whatever. So once we did this, inside this div here now, we are going to insert an image. So the first is a img image, stands for image, with an scr, with a screen of not a screen, well, location, so I know where the location is of that of the image, and that is going to be the first one, I believe, is yeah, California, right? So and we're going to put in there the directory where it resides, which is assets. Inside the assets, we are going to go into the images. See, that is what good about this Visual Studio Code. Once you put in a, you know, like here, I put in the assets, which is the main folder where I got my bootstraps, CSS fonts, and images, and JS. So then I go back into images here, put my images, and the first one I said was California, and then the first image would be California 01 JPEG. So, and after that, I need to. It's important that you give an alt or alternative text in case something happens, and you just can't leave this one empty. At least if you don't want to put something in there, you can do that. And then we close this one. So that was the image. And after the image, we are going to put the title in, which is in H3. And let me close this one, H3. And we put in California. So, and yeah, that's for that, and that's the end of row. So, okay. Now if I make a, let me go back to this part here where we're working on, and let me save this file, let me save it, and you see we got the first image here. Don't worry about it, it's very large at the moment. We are going to adjust it later on into when we do the when we do the styling. So anyway, now this part here actually is just repetitive. Yeah, we know that we're going to have 6 images in there, and they're going to be all from the different folders we have. But since here everything is repetitive, is so if you copy this part here to this part here, yeah, that's the first column we made. Copy it and then paste it. Control V, Control V. The only thing we have to change in here now is this part. Oops, this part here. So if I go back into image here and I press image, now the next one was up there, I believe that was Italy, and the first image of you have in that folder of Italy. If I save it, see, now we got second image. So practically there's well, 4 more to be done, 4 more to go. And so let's do this one again. Copy this part here, Control copy, Control C, Control V, and Okay, something I forgot here to say. In the second one we still got the California from above. Just change that to Italy, and in the next one we did, that was then, I believe, after Italy I had Japan. So Japan, and again here delete everything from this part here, backspace, Japan, and you take the first picture of Japan out. And let me go down here and column 4. We can want to paste in the next one, and again here this one goes away, backslash. The next one was I believe is London, and the first picture of London, and here we put in London, England. So then what we got, we got 2 more to go, one for the fashion and one for the posters. We do paste it again in, change this one now to fashion, and the image of course is going to be in the folder of fashion, and the first image from fashion. And the last one is going to be then the posters. So let me paste this one again. And this one is going to be posters. Oops, posters. And again here the image, we're going to change it to the poster image, poster, and the first image poster. So, and that should be for the end of I got something here wrong, something is missing here. Anyway, let me save it, and now we got all the other images here. Of course now they're not going to be we have to how you said, we have to style them afterwards anyway. So but I see here I'm missing, after the end of my work, after the end of row, I got something missing, and that is actually that is the container fluid. Yeah, container fluid. I got this one missing. It's all the way down there, but it shouldn't be. It's not supposed to be down there. See, there's nothing in there. So let me go back here. Then where was the end of the row? Of the end of the row, I put in close my div, and that should be, let me see if I'm correct, end of column, end of that, and then end of container. That should be the end of the container fluid. So end of container fluid, which we didn't put in the beginning. End of container fluid. Okay, let me check it out now. That is the end of the container fluid. Yeah. End of container fluid. We have the about section. Hold on a minute, I got to check this one out. Control S, see what happens, and see if we put it on the right position. Yeah, it's on the right position, good. So, and then after that, after the end of some of my work, I just need to put in another HR, and close it and save it. So, yeah. Okay. That is now that we set up all the images and whatsoever. Now let's go and start doing some styling. So, okay, let's go back into our main CSS here. So, and that's where we left off last time. We put in, you know, the fonts, the boxing sizes, the colors we need. We give the body the font family and a background color. Then we did the navigation, and then we did the footer. So after the navigation, we start going to do the main container. Okay, so main container. Oops. Main container. So in the main container, let me go. Let me see how we did the main container here. Main container. Okay. The first thing we are going to do is to style the container fluid. As you can see at the moment, the container, the main container here, you know, it's all on the top here, so we cannot actually see certain things, yeah, which are hidden from the navigation bar. So let's put a container fluid. Container fluid, open brackets, open and close brackets, and within the brackets we are going to give it a margin top of 120 pixels. Yeah, Control S, and there you go. Okay. Why did I give it 120? I could have given less, I could have given more. So what I did, because I wanted there's a certain distance between, I didn't want to have the about me here, just be stuck under here, under the head, under the navigation bar, yeah? So if I go into here, if I inspect, let me inspect here, if I inspect here, here, so select an element to inspect. See, if I inspect here the navigation bar, I can see that the navigation bar is 56, oops, is 56 pixels tall. So you got the navigation bar dark, navigation dark, it says 1197 pair times 56. So 56 is the height. The 1197, that is the length, because at the moment I'm on a full page. Yeah. So that's why 56 and I wanted to have a little bit space in between the about me. If I would have, let me close this one here. So that's the reason why I put 120 in here. I mean, I could put less if I wanted to, you know, but I know 56 pixel is the height of the navigation bar, so I need to come down from that height. If I to show you, let me put this at 56 and make a save. You see, now my about is right up back on the top, so I wanted to have a little bit more space in there, and I put 120. I could have put much less than that, but I liked it with 120, so I put 120. You can put whatever you want. Okay, so after we did the container fluid, the one out of the way, let us start this H1, all the H1s here, which we got inside our our HTML file. So let's do an H1, open close brackets. First of all, what I want is I want the text to align center. So text align and center, and after that I want to give them the text a color, and the color I've used there is let's do color, and I use a variable, open close parenthesis, and I use this Oxford blue, not the rich black blue, the Oxford blue, a little lighter blue. Yeah. And okay, and let's save this one and see what happens. Back, you see, now it's centered. Yeah. And I got this darker blue, not dark as this one, as the navigation bar, but a little bit lighter. Okay, next. The next thing, let's do this HRs here. Yeah, you see they're all 1 pixel long, 1 pixel wide, and they go from one side to another. Not really appealing. So let's change this. Let's change that one, and let's style this baby. So an HR, open close brackets. The height we're going to leave to 1 pixel. So height equals 1 pixel. Oops, 1 pixel. A border width of none. Border width of 0. I don't want to have spread all the way across the page, so I'm going to give it a width, a total width, of 80% of the screen, 80%. And next step is, and I want to give it also a margin of left to 10%. I show you why. Let me do this. Let me save this one here, and you can see now that okay, actually he disappeared completely. They all disappeared completely, and because they're all on the 80% but not in the center of the page. So if I, that's the reason why. So if I put a margin of left to 10%, we still don't see nothing, and the reason why is because we haven't given any background yet. We have to give him the background colors. So the first background we're going to be using is a light gray. Yeah, so middle light gray. So it's background, not background color, background, and we give them an RGB of open parentheses of 218 comma 218 comma and 218, and that is this. If you look at it, is this light gray. Okay, so okay, now the next one we're going to do is we're going to give him this see here, there's very thin, almost invisible, and then it gets darker in the middle, and then it fades out again. To almost to nothing. So let me make a save here. Let's see what happens if I see this time. This time we are supposed to be able to see the yeah, you see now, you see it here now. Now you see it, yeah, but it's still all one color, yeah. And that is now we're going to change it so that in the middle is darker and on the edges is lighter. So, and we do this by giving it a linear gradient. So let's do background, and in there we put a linear gradient right there. The first thing we have to put in our linear gradient is the angle. So this one is going to be a 90-degree angle, a 90-degree angle. Put in a comma. After that, we're going to be using instead of an RGB, we're going to use an RGBA, which is an RGB color with an alpha channel. So RGBA, open parenthesis, open parenthesis, and we're going to start off with a white color, 255, comma, 255, comma, 255, and then comma, and an alpha to 0, an alpha to 0. After that, we are going to put it, we want this alpha to be at the beginning of the ruler. So it starts like from 0 to 100. So 0 on the left, 100 on the end. So this alpha, the first alpha here, that's where, you know, it disappears almost into nothing. Now we're going to put that one at 0% of the ruler, at 0%, and give another color. Now we're going to put in another RGB. That is the middle section now, which is going to be much more darker. So RGBA and open parenthesis, and this one we are going to use the following numbers: a very dark gray, which is I use 13, comma, 27, comma, and 42, comma, and I give the an opacity of 1. So now if you look at it, you see now here is fading out to nothing, then it goes darker, because we haven't told them yet where we wanted to end this one, yeah, and that is what we're going to do next. And this one here we wanted to end at 50%, so in the middle. at 50%. At 50%, and let's see how it looks like now. See, now because we haven't defined the end of the ruler, so it's still there until we don't define the 100%. And that is what we're going to do next. Let's give it a comma again, and we put in another RGBA, open brackets, and this one we're going to use the same RGBA we used on the 0%. So a 255 comma 255 comma 255 comma, and then we put in a 0, and after that we put in here on the end at 100%, 100%, duck, and that should be it. Let me save this one, and voila, here we got our HRs, and you can see all the HRs which we made in the program, they're all in there. Nice. Yeah, so okay, now let's style this part here, and then we're going to style the first image. So and what I got missing here. Okay, so that was for the HR. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the description. Yep. So the description was a class, so for a class you put in a period. Description was the name we gave it, and let's open close the brackets, and the description we're going to make, we're going to give it a margin top of 10. Yeah, margin top, we're going to give it a margin top of 10 pixels. 10 pixels. The color we wanted is this, the same like before, this Oxford blue, like we have in the H1. So let's do color. Maybe comes down here. Let's see, light gray, light blue. No. Oxford blue. Here it is. So just select this one here, since you got it in there now. And the next part is we do the text align center. Text align center. And as last, then we're going to transform the text into, we're going to capitalize the text. So let's do text transform, and we do capitalize, and since we got a padding in there too, we're going to give it a padding of 10 pixel, padding of 10 pixels, 10 pixels. So Control S, and that was, which one was this one now? Capitalize. Which one was this one now? This is capitalized. My services about me. Okay, let's see what went wrong there. We saw that description is not. Let me check out in the index. In the index, we had this somewhere. Here, some of my work. Here are some of my images. Ah, yeah, here. You see, here are some of my images, artwork. Check out my gallery. Okay. Let me adjust this one here now. My gallery. Check out my gallery. It's a Y missing. Gallery. Okay. Control save. And there we go. Okay. Let's go back in there. Back to the main CSS. So after that one, let's do the first column here. This column here. Yeah. There was a MD6. Yeah. So there was a class. So class call MD6. MD6. Open and close brackets. Inside the brackets we put just a margin left of 0.8%. Margin left of 0.8%. And that's all what we need to do for that. See, now it moved 8%. Why I put 8% in there and not pixel? Well, if I put pixels in there, then when the screen resizes, it will just keep those pixels, which wouldn't be looking good. So, but since it's 8%, so that means it doesn't matter how big the screen or how small the screen is, it will always keep this 8% of the margin left. So then, what else we need to do? Now we do the section here with the picture down here. Yeah, that was called MD5. MD5. Open and close brackets. We're going to give this a width of auto, so that it resizes of auto, that it resizes automatically, you know, depending on the width of the screen. And we give it a margin to the left, a margin to the left of 7.3%. 7.3%. I came up, I played around with it, and I came up with 7.3% because if it's properly nice and good inside, then inside the container. Okay, let me save this one. Still nothing happened here because, but you see, we still have to do the image here now, you know, style the image and whatsoever. So, but anyway, let's keep on going. So the next one is we are going to do the title. We have the title in the image. The title. Open close brackets, and we're going to give them a padding on the top. Padding on the top of 10%. 10%. A color of that was platinum. Oops. Open parenthesis. Platinum. And a padding bottom of 25%. Padding. Oops. Padding bottom of -25%. Okay. Let's see what happens. something went. Hold on. Oh yes, sure, yeah, because we still have to. It turned out this color because we still have to do the box around the paragraph here, and that I think is the that was the column left. If I call left up here, it says somewhere info call left, call MD5. Roll call MD6, about text. That was the title, that was the about text. And call MD4. Okay. Let's see. Call left. Column left. I believe that was in somewhere. So we have the title, we have the 5, we have the about text, I believe, now row call about text, which was here. Okay, here about text, exactly, yeah. The about text we need to do next. About text, oops, about text. The about text. About text. Open brackets, open close, oops, open and close brackets, and we do the text align, justify, and we give them a color or also of platinum. Color of platinum. Let me just copy it from here. It's the same thing. Don't really need to type it again. And Ctrl S, that is that. And then we have a call left, column left, that's right. That is that dark box now what we're going to have. And that is going to have a background color of Oxford blue, I believe, yeah. Let me copy this from here. And save. Call left. But it didn't do anything. Why? Info. Did we miss something? Let me check out. Just give me a second here. So, sorry guys, I found a mistake, and it was I had put instead of background color, I just had put color, and that was the reason like it didn't came up here. So I changed this one. So please, sorry about that. In your call left here, just put in background color, put this coding in here, yeah, this style in here, and that should adjust this part here. Okay, so the about text we did already, the title we did, and let's see what else we need to do here now. Accordion, hold on. think we have to do now the rows. Or let me see. Okay, now let's do the box. So we can box this image in here now. So let's do box, open close brackets inside the box. We're going to give the margin of 0, margin of 0. Then we're going to give it a width of 100%. Then we're going to give it a height of auto. Background color. Okay, the width is 100% because I want to be always the same width. The height changes accordingly to the images. The image is small, like afterwards in the galleries. Yeah, we are not gonna have really large images. You know, we're gonna have smaller images, and that's the reason why I put the auto in the box, since they're always using the same styling. So that's why I put it in. The height to auto, the width to 100%, and the height to auto. Okay, so then let's give it a background to the box. Background color, not like before, a background, just a color, a background, and that is going to be the platinum, the lighter color, and give it a margin bottom of 30 pixels. Margin bottom of 30 pixels. So, okay. So you see now we got down here, you can see already we got a box. Yeah. So now we got to put this image inside the box. So let me go here. Gotta go the image inside the box image. We're going to do one. We're going to do next. And that would be box again. Box. And we're going to do the image in the box. Image. img. Open and close brackets. And inside here we're going to make it a width of 95%. 95%. And we'll give it a margin of 2.5%. Margin of 2.5%. 2.5%. And let's make a save. So, and you see now here we got our picture in there on the margins. Yeah, there is still more to styling to come, so anyway, so don't worry about it. But you see now all the images here have this border around here. So anyway, go back. I believe also there was another thing. I also had in there somewhere a box 1, and I believe that was for this picture here. See, this picture here is supposed to be almost this size, the whole size of same as this one when it's large. So believe that was box 1. Let me check. Box 1. Open and close brackets. And I I believe it was like that, no? That was similar to the first box. I don't want to retype in everything here, so I will paste it in and I'll tell you what we changed. Okay, so in the box one, in the box here, we got margin 0, width 100, width 100, hide auto, background same, only that now we give a margin bottom of 50 and a margin top of 50. And I believe if that is correct, I should adjust these pictures on here. Let me do save. And no, it didn't for some reason. Anyway, so I got to check further in this one. The box. Box one image. Well, box one image, yeah, I have to copy also. We also need a box for the box one image, of course. Now, let me copy this one here and just put it in. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same as the box image here. Yeah, only because there is referred to box one and the image sorted within box one. It needs to get adjusted. Let me do a Control S. And let me see now. You should have adjusted the picture much better. So the next thing we're going to do is in the box we have this H3. Let me check here again what we got here. For the first image, called MD5. No, it was box. Image John Doe H3. So where was this box 1 here again? Box 1, box. So it's box, same box. Okay. Image John Doe old. Call MD5. Okay. So then let's do box H3, the H3 there. That is the title, box H3. I don't know why I got I had this one in there, the box one. Maybe I used it in some other place. Anyway, we'll find out. Sorry about the confusion here, guys. Okay, now let's style this box here. It's getting already pretty long, this tutorial, longer than what I thought, so let me do a copy and paste here. Okay, and let me explain what I did is, okay, so the HR, that is you know, the title. I give it the color of the dark blue, or black, almost the dark black here. Give it a padding of 5 pixels, align the text in center, give it a font weight of 700, which is the bold one, and the text transform to capitalized. So if you look at it here, you see that's what we get. Okay, so and you have the same also in here, in all the other images we had in there, since they all address the same thing. Okay. Okay, guys, so now last thing to do here is you know, put in these effects under the images here now. So and the image, the effects is a quite few steps which we have to go through. So to speed up this one, because I'm already at almost 1.5 hours of video, I'm mainly going to I'm mainly going to paste it in because some of them are really long. So let me start here with the first part of the effect, and that would be, oops, there we got a problem, there we got something missing, a backslash. Okay, so that's where your effects, that is where our effects are going to start. So is a class, it's called effects 5. If you look in the index page here, box effects 5. Okay, so now first thing we do, the relative, the position is going to be relative to the image. Yeah, so the next thing we are going to do here, and this is the longest part of the effect, which is, oops, we're going to do a before and a after all in one go. Let me paste it in and then I'll explain you what's happening here. So if you remember at the beginning of our CSS, we put in this one here, a before and after, box size in border box. Okay, and that is what we're referring here on the before and the after. That's what the box size and the border of the box. Okay, so where were we now? Okay, now I just put this one in here. So we do them both in one go. So you put in a dot effect 5, a column before, comma, and dot again effect 5, a period again effect 5, and the after, open and close your parentheses, and in between the parentheses we're going to start with a z index -1. Why we put in here z index -1? Because we want that the effect starts under the image here. If I put this on, if I don't put the z index -1, it's going to be on top of the image, and that's not what we want to do. Okay, so then we are telling them that the position is going to be absolute. Yeah, content, we're going to have nothing in the content. Yeah, content is I mean, I could put in here a text in the content. Yeah, and that will be styled. So then we're going to give a bottom of 25 pixel, left of 10 pixel, a width of 50%, and a top of 80%. Yeah, so that means the bottom 25 pixel, left 10 pixels to the left. Yeah, a width of 50%. Yeah, and and the max width, a top of 80%. Yeah, so it means that it's going to be under the image, 80%, and I give it a maximum width of 300 pixel. Why 300 pixel? Well, if I make this smaller or larger, then it will pop out and it will not look good, believe me. Through trial and errors, you come up with these numbers. So please just follow these numbers here, copy down the way I did it, and you're not going to have any problems. So then I put the background. That is the background we want for the for the shadows, yeah. That is that rich black, that's the dark color we put up in our main color team, yeah. So then this one here, the WebKit box shadows, Mozilla box shadows, and the box shadows, they are used by different how you say, by different browsers, yeah. The WebKit, I believe, is for Opera, and so the Mozilla, no, the WebKit box, I believe, is used by Internet Explorer. The MOZ box shadow is used by the what do you call it? By the Firefox, yeah. And also WebKit is also used by Opera and some other browsers. Then this box shadow here, that is why it gets used by here in Google Chrome. Okay, and more or less they all have the same shutter properties. Yeah. So to check out what box shadow is, yeah, you can research it on Google. Just put in box shadow CSS, and it tells you all these points, these reference points, what they are. I don't want to go right into it now because otherwise, like I said, guys, I'm going to. That is a tutorial by itself, practically. So then now we do the transformation. So we give them a certain degree in which way they have to come back, and we have to apply them to the WebKits, to the different web browsers. Yeah, WebKits are again Mozilla, Firefox, or Opera. MS is Microsoft, is for the Edge, and then to transform, rotate here, the last one, which are all set at the same degrees. Yeah, this is for the Chrome. I hope you understand it. If not, just leave me a comment, and I try to help you out later on. And so that would be the first part, and we still got one more to go, but the next one is not going to be so difficult. It's going to be less, and that is going to be just the after call. So let me post this one, and here we go. So you got the period, effect 5, and then column after, open and close parentheses here, and then just put in the same WebKits we have up here. Yeah, transform, put it on the same degrees by all of them, and now you put for the after, you put in right, to the right 10 pixels, and the left you do auto. So he adjusts itself, like when it's small, when you reduce your when you got it, so that you can see it on different devices. Okay, now that we did this one, let's please stop the video, copy it all down, and I make a save in the meanwhile. Yeah, and as you can see already in the back here, that is what you're getting out of it. So now you know also how to do certain effects on your images. And I believe now that no, we still have to do the service part here, and this has already been done automatically. You see all the images now have this one. So let's do now the services part. And once we did that, then I believe we can call it a day. So see, services. Okay, so as you remember, we have in the services we have a class called services. Let me copy this one and let's put it in there. So, and I believe that is here somewhere on our services, start of row about, and then start of our services. You see, we got services, which we're going to do. Then I believe we're going to do we got an info here somewhere. The info class we're going to do. The services class we're going to do. And then we're going to do the three icons up here. Yeah, we're going to style them, and we're going to do also this class of light here for the HR, and I believe then, yeah, and that should do it. So anyway, in the first one we're going to do the services. We're going to give it a padding of top of 20 pixels and a color of this shadow blue. Yeah, which is shadow blue is this light blue color here. Yeah, where are we? Shadow blue. Okay, so then after that we are going to do the info. Info, open close parentheses. The info is going to be a background. Background with a dark a variable of this dark blue, which is the Oxford blue. And the text we're going to give it a color of the shadow blue, the lighter blue. That shadow blue, same like as the background here. Yeah. So okay, let me save this one so far. Let's see what happens. And you see, that's what we got already. Okay, so we got a box here, dark blue, and all the text and whatsoever has the same background color as the website, as the main body. Okay, next one is let's do this three icons here. We put them all in one go. Let's do FA. So we need, the first one was FA camera, comma. Then we have FA female, comma, and then we have FA portrait, portrait. Make sure I'm not making any spelling errors, otherwise it's not going to work. Open and close parentheses, brackets, and here we only need to do give it a font size, of I used the 4EM, and a margin of 1 REM. Margin of 1 REM. 1 rem. Okay, and let's save this and see how it looks like. And there you go. Okay, so now we got this one done. But we got something missing here. Where is my services here? We got something missing. Oh yeah, we still have to style that one. Yes, sure. So they're not showing up because of the colors at the moment. So that would be then then we have another class which is called light. Light. Open and close parentheses. I'm only going to paste someone in because there's again a little bit longer of text. So, okay, what are we going to do here? We're going to give it a margin top of -60%, height of 1 pixels, a border width of 0, a width of 75%, a background of the very light gray here, yeah, and then we're going to give it again a linear gradient because that's also going to be THR, I believe. So, and then yeah, and then the margin bottom of 20 pixel. Let's see how it looks like. Let me save this one, and here you go. But I still got missing these services on top here. So let me see where I went wrong here in the index. Services, my services is here, H1 class, H1 class services, my services, okay, my services padding. I believe I have to put in here H1. Let me see if that was the problem. H1 services. If done, no, I didn't make it. Okay, hold on, guys. I got to check out why is it not working? Yeah, just 1 second. Okay, guys. I found an error. See, that is you know, I mean, this is trial and error stuff. You know, you make a misspell and already everything doesn't work. And the problem is I did put in the index.html here where my services are, I put services, but actually it's not supposed to be services, it's supposed to be service. So if I take this S away here and I resave, so make sure you change that one too and resave it, then it should be, and still nothing happened. Main, the H1 I don't need here. Save it, and here it is. You see, that was the error. And that is always good, you know, that you give these comments here before you start something, because, oops, let me do a Control C here. Because like that you know exactly, okay, where is the error. Otherwise I wouldn't have found it. I tell you, if you don't have nothing up here and tell you where, or in your index you know, services, then it's going to make it very tedious to find the error. So like that I found it straight away just by looking at, okay, that is in the service section. Let me check here in the HTML, where is my service, and I found straight away out that the error was in here because I had written services instead of service. And in my main CSS I referred to service and not to services. I could have changed now this one also to services, it would have worked, but you know, it's good that this error happened, because like that you can also see where why it's important to give it these reminders to you. They're not going to show up in the main no, on the website anyway. So, but it's just for you to know, okay, this and this was wrong. So, and I believe now we have done it. So you see the difference between, also the difference between this HR and this HR, the color. Okay, and that was the reason why I gave it in the index here the class, the HR, a class of light, because I wanted to be this one light and not dark as the other ones. And that's the reason why I put the light in here. And I changed, see, I changed the colors. Let's view and oops, toggle wardrobe. Okay, and that was the reason why. Oh, God, and that was the reason why. And it did it again. As soon as you move something here, it moves away. So, and that was the reason why I changed. Let me do this again. This view here, this toggle word, it keeps messing up. So, okay, now you can see it better. That's the reason why I changed this one here. Same degrees as the other HR. The only thing is, before I had this light color, yeah. No, same color, light. Also light to 0. But this in here is a light gray bluish color, similar, almost similar to the website background. Okay, and that's the reason why we put that one in here. So guys, anyway, this is the end of part 3. I'm sorry if it took so long. We had a lot of made a lot of mistakes in here, but we adjusted them also. We find out sometimes it's good. Like I said, this is all a question of how you say it, trial and error. Yeah, and but in the end we made it. So in the next tutorial we are going to do the service part, yeah, which at the moment is still empty. And after that we're going to go to the gallery, and after the gallery we're going to do the contact. Once we do the main pages up here, once we do the main pages, then inside the gallery we are going to put on the galleries and all the images to put them up into the lightbox. So I hope you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to subscribe and comment. Please comment. I have seen quite a few people saw my tutorials already, but unfortunately no one has commented me yet, and I don't know. If I don't know what I'm doing wrong, or if you guys don't let me know what's happening, then it's difficult for me also to adjust myself in how to show you all these tutorials here. But anyway, thank you for watching, and again, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, and until next time.